is Suicide Awareness Prevention Month. I am constantly having conversations with people in the mental health field and learning from those who are experts in this area. I do this so that I can make sure that my messages and videos are helpful and safe. And that's what I will be sharing with you in this vlog. But before I start talking about my most recent discoveries, I want to tell you a story. And this story begins on social media. While scrolling through my Facebook feed one evening earlier this year, one of my friends posted about Naomi Judd, who had recently died by suicide. I had been so sad to hear about her death, and so I stopped to read my friend's post. What she wrote shook me to my core. Along with posting the article announcing Naomi Judd's death, she said, "If people with wealth, connections, and fame cannot find help for mental health, how does anyone?" I took some time to comment on my friend's post stating that help is available and that the answer lies in knowing the importance of asking for help. She wrote me back stating, "Tasha, the thing is that there are not many resources for help, as in none." And then asked me to look at a post she had posted earlier that week about how there were long wait lists for therapists in hospitals. Now, I am not exaggerating when I say that this little social media conversation almost made me rethink my entire message and mission. I'm always talking about how there is help available and how to ask for it. So I decided to go back to one of those mental health experts that I rely on for advice and mentorship, Dan Reidenberg, the executive director for SAVE, which stands for Suicide Awareness Voices of Education. I know Dan through some mutual friends and also because SAVE has certified both my keynote message and my Power of Path program. This certification recognizes prevention-focused public messages on the topic of suicide. So Dan was kind enough to hop onto a Zoom call with me, and we had a great conversation. And I left with a lot more hope and a deeper understanding of what's going on in the mental health field and how people like you and me can make a difference. Dan shared that it is true that in some parts of the country, depending on where you live and the kind of financial resources available to you, it can be more difficult to get certain kinds of mental health treatment. But it is also true that the Suicide Prevention Hotline and text line are available for free, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And someone will always respond to people who reach out through those resources. So depending on where you live, there are waiting lists for some mental health facilities and therapists. But the truth is that these counselors do exist. And they are there to help. There are even a ton of online professional therapy options available to those who can't access them close to home. So what does this mean? Well, if you need help, reach out. Don't give up. Have you ever heard of someone who had a stomach ache or other minor symptom and it turned out to be cancer? That person may have had to go back to multiple doctors to get the correct diagnosis and then the correct treatment to cure their cancer. It can be similar for getting mental health treatment. It might mean reaching out more than once to get the help you need. You may have to be persistent. Help does not always come in just one try or reaching out once. And if you have someone struggling in your life who is struggling with mental health, you might have to help be their advocate for reaching out for help. Another thing that Dan and I talked about when it comes to mental health treatment is that sometimes people don't always follow through on the treatment recommendations or medications they're given. It does take effort and diligence to recover from mental health struggles, and everyone's needs are different. Some could just talk to a friend to get the help they need, and others really do need a therapist. But because there are not enough psychologists and psychiatrists and mental health treatment centers available, we all do need to step up for each other. It takes caring and compassionate people who are willing to listen and support others in their life. So be a good friend, be a good relative, be a good person. Listen and support those around you. You do not have to have the answers. Just listening is sometimes the best thing you can do for those who are hurting. Another thing that we can do is advocate for more funding and better resources for mental health treatment. We also need more money for medical research that will study how the brain works and how we can treat mental health challenges earlier and better. Finally, awareness is so important. We've come a long way, but not far enough. The more mental health is discussed and the more facts we share, the less stigma there will be and more resources will be opened up for those who need them. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Suicide Prevention Awareness Month can feel like a heavy topic, but there are threads of hope woven through here that I want to help you understand. So tune in next week for more on the mental health resources available to you and to people you know. Thanks for listening.